Hi, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Today we are continuing our fall themed friends, and today we're going to be doing two things. First, we're going to be making a squirrel. So when I think of fall, I think of squirrels. And with our squirrel, we're going to be our squirrel is hitting the jackpot because I made a mold of an acorn. It is a jar, actually, top and bowl, and put together it makes an acorn, and it's going to be very cute, and it's going to make our little squirrel here very happy. But first things first, we do our squirrel. He's going to be a quite not traditional squirrel. The kid has asked that I actually cast him in purple, which is interesting, but okay. So we are going to make him purple, but I decided that his eyes are going to be gold. I did this once before on a cat, and I painted the eyes with mica powder and burnished it in quite well, and it came out beautifully. The cat, when I demolded it, it was actually poured in like 4 pours because I was just using leftover resin from other projects, and then every time I finished, I would dye it orange and pour it into my cat because it was a ginger cat. And when I demolded it, I had forgotten that I had pre-painted his eyes. Oh, those eyes just stood out. And I will get the kid to pop a picture of my kitty up in the corner so you can see how wonderful his eyes were. Now, as per usual, every time I make a new animal, the very first time, that animal ends up in the hubster's man cave. He has a collection of all my first resin animals. If they came out okay. If they didn't come out okay, then no, I don't force them on him. I'm not actually forcing them on him. He likes them. I usually make all of the animals in colors that I know that he likes. So he has a lot of greens, a lot of blues. That cat in particular, it was an orange cat, but his eyes were a very vibrant green, and the hubster liked it because green is his favorite color. So eyes are done. Now I need to clean up everything that's not eyes because they don't need to be gold. Now, the thing about this is he's very, I don't know if you can see that, but he has a lot of detail in his fur. So I have to kind of try and get that gold out of the areas that I didn't need them in. Although I did consider perhaps highlighting certain areas in gold so it would show up under the purple. Because as you know, whatever touches the silicone first is what you're going to see after the resin is poured. I mean, I'm going to call it good enough because I'm lazy like that. And this is my first pour of this particular animal. So fuzzies, no fuzzies. Carefully turning him back in, like not with a pot because I don't want any powder to go flying. And I'm calling him good. Okay, so clean off my brush. Seems like it's time to clean off my pad there, my switching pad. I have never cast this. I've never cast either of these before, so I'm not sure how much resin I'm going to need, but I'm going to pour them separately. I'm going to do our squirrel first. I'm thinking I'm going to try 3 ounces and see where we're at. If I need to add more, I'll add more, but I don't really want a lot of leftover. You know, actually, I think I'll go ahead and make up 6 ounces and then I'll split it and I'll do 3 in the purple. And then if I need more, I have the clear sitting there that I can just add more to. That way, I don't have to mix up in 2 pours. Anything left over, I can then use for our acorn. Okay, so I'm going to get my resin mixed up. Today I'm using Bondcrafter 1-to-1 epoxy resin. That's actually my go-to resin. It's quite economical. It cures fast. It cures hard. And I love it. There's not a lot of smells. It says that it's a food grade. It's food safe. So that's the one I'm working with currently. All right, I'm going to mix that up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I mixed up 6 ounces of the Bondcrafter 1-to-1 and I split it in half. And I'm going to drop my purple for Mr. Squirrel here right into the cup, and I think that might be enough. I'll give it a zhuzh and see if it's dark enough because we want him opaque. We do not want him transparent. Cover that for now so I don't drop everything because I will drop everything. And I'm wetting all the powder before I start my mixer because I don't want a big poof. I can still see my orange through there, so I'm going to add a little bit more because I want him completely colored. And that's better. Yeah. So I'm going to clean off my paddle. And this I found for me to be the best way to do that. I'll go around the top, scrape it down the sides, come down the bottom, and that's good. And I will leave that on the side to clean up. So I'm going to drop these into my debubbler right quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and this has been through its debubble trip. Give it a little spritz because the micro bubbles that came to the surface need to pop, and I'm impatient like that. I could have left it, but I ain't got time for that. So remember, I made 6 ounces. I split it in half because I'm not sure how much our super purple squirrel is going to take. So I'm going to go ahead. Normally I would like to spray him. I have to be careful because of the eyes. His tail, and like I said, he's very detailed in his fur, which is actually not surprising because this is actually a candle mold. So it's going to be matte. I know this already. I'm going to run it down the side in the front, and I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to give it a squish, hoping to get any bubbles to come pop out. See that? Did you see that bubble come pop out top? And I'm kind of rolling it around to get into all those nooks and crannies of the fur that I was talking about, hoping that this will help solve any bubble problems. I'm getting it up in that tail. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to need more. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to need more. There's my scraper. Let's scrape this out and see what I actually need. I don't want to make up too much. And then the question is, could I possibly avoid using that extra 3 ounces of resin by maybe dropping some rocks into our squirrel? I think that's a possibility too. I love these scrapers. It gets my cup very, very clean. I mean, you are not wasting any resin when you're using scrapers like this. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking rocks, because I could use those 3 ounces in my box instead of using it here. These are white rocks. If you see, they're sparkly, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm using an opaque resin. Hopefully they won't show. I just got these from the Dollar Tree in the gardening section. I'll drop a couple more because I kind of want it to be domed, because I don't want to have to trim it. Dare I? I do dare. Okay. That's it. I'm leaving him alone. He's done. The rocks get put away. Okay. So I'm going to slide him back and turn him so he's out of the way. And now we start on our acorn, which is going to make Mr. Squirrel very, very happy. Our squirrel is going like this, and he has it right up against his mouth, like I'm not going to spray that anymore because it will run over, and I'm already kind of thinking it's going to run over. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, so for our top, we want it to be 2 different colors. We decided that the bottom needed to be lighter than the top for the acorns. So I got this on clearance at Michael's. It doesn't even say what color it is, but to me it kind of looks like a coppery brown color. So I'm thinking, because it's darker, this could be our top, because this is copper. I got this from Bazan. This is Hemway craft glitter, and it's in copper. And this is going to be our bottom. So I'm going to do our top first, and hopefully I have enough resin here to get our top completed. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and dump a whole bunch of this brown glitter in here. In our top here, the very top of it, it's been blinked out. There's a gem in it. We put a rhinestone gem in it before I cast it. So that should come out very, very pretty. This resin is starting to heat up, so it actually works in my favor right now. Put more glitter, and then I'm going to add some glue. And if you remember, it was 3 ounces of resin. Yeah, that's good. So he's getting 3 drops of glue. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm going to put an extra because that first drop was mostly an air bubble. And I always wipe off my top when I close it, because otherwise the next time I go to use it, it will be glued shut. Which, I mean, it's only clear Elmer's glue, so it's easy to peel off, but it's just a pain in the butt to have to deal with. Yes, glue. That's what I want. We'll give it a spritz. I'm going to come up, go into the hole, and come up on the side, because there is a lip, because this is the top of my jar. So there's a lip that we want to make sure is bubble free. So we're going to pour it, and we're going to then run my silicone tool, I think. I'm gonna run it down the side instead of going right in the middle and see. Hopefully I won't get a bubble in my middle. And see, I knew that 3 ounces was not going to be enough, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'm going to mix up some more, and then I will split. I will mix up a lot more because I know that I'm thinking I may need like 6 ounces for the base. Maybe not. The base actually, although it looks bigger, it actually takes less than the top because the top is hollow. The base is not. The base has a core in the middle, which gives you the bowl that you need to make a jar. Because this was 3 and he's only like halfway, so I need at least 3 more, probably more, because it gets wider as you go towards the top. You know, the bottom had the handle. I'm going to try 10 ounces. And if I have leftover, I have leftover. I'm going to do 10. I'm going to split it and make my brown first and then work on my bottom. And I will be right back. And I made up another 10 ounces of the resin, 5 of which I put in my, I'm going to call it brown glitter or maybe bronze. I don't know. All I know is it's not copper because this is copper. Give it a little spritz of alcohol because, you know, surface bubbles. And remember, this does have a ton of glue, which is why it's gloopy. Okay. And since this was sitting here for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and spritz it again. I'm going to rub some on my finger and get up under that lip. Here we go, round 2. Stop, let it kind of do its thing. Honestly, I think that's all we need because this is a hand cut mold. So if you go too high, there's going to be a lot of trimming. I have about an ounce left. So that was 3 plus 4. So 7 ounces just for the cover. Of course, that's 7 ounces with the glitter. I mean, I put a ton of glitter in there. So now we have this side, which is the bowl. And we decided that that is going to be copper. It should be a lighter color than the top of the acorn. If I had some nice dried flowers, I would go ahead and put those in, like pour clear resin and slide those dry flowers in. I don't have that today. So we're going to just go with the copper. This is our fall themed character and jar. So fall colors. Although the purple isn't really a fall color, but you know, the kid wanted purple, so purple it shall be. And I'm putting in that Hemway craft glitter in copper. It is extra fine. I'm getting it down to the bottom there. And as with the top, I don't want to see my stick. And that actually is not bad. I'm going to put just a teeny bit more. Well, okay, that was more like a tad. And I have to drop my glue. So that gets mixed. And yes, I did just mix in a ton of bubbles. And it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gloopify my glitter. Yes, that's a word now. Gloopify. I am in the process of gloopification. Nice and gloopy. Now I know I'm going to have leftovers, so I just have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. But before that, I'm going to get in here and rub my alcohol all over the inside, up on the lip. Yippers, that's what I'm doing. And in we go. I sure hope I have enough here. I thought 5 would be good. I'm going to slow down. Because it has glue, you have to kind of cut it off when it's a little bubble pop. There we go. Bunch of bubbles coming up. How much would that? We have about 1. So the bottom takes about 4 with the glitter. Pop? Why are you not popping? Alcohol resistant bubble there. Oh, look at that. I'll go right on the edge here. And that reminds me, I did not go around the lip of my cover. So I need to do that to get any bubbles out. All right, now, so I have basically 2 ounces and scrapings. I'm going to do my cat again because I really loved the way that cat came out. I'm going to get my green, turn my kitty inside out. I got my green, and my green is from Baltic Day. It is a chrome powder. And since I don't like to waste anything, I'm going to go around the side where the cover was. I store these upside down because that way I can see which one I'm going for right away. Of course, that causes problems when you go to open it. Okay, so our eyes are here and they're not that very big. So because they're not very big, I'm going to do this. I have a micro brush. This is a makeup micro brush. I get them for like from Amazon. It's not very expensive and you get like 3 packets of it. I think it's 3 or 4 packages of it. I want to say it's like 100 of them. It's not very expensive. If it was, I wouldn't have bought it. That's the way I roll. Eye number 1 is in, and I just want to rub it really hard, which is, you know, what they refer to as burnishing. When I say they, I'm talking about basically all the resiners cover, because otherwise I will lose it. Now, I forgot. Mr. Kitty is holding a heart. You can see it here in his hand. It looks like a triangle, but it's a heart. I'm going to color that. I'm going to color it silver, because I can. And this is also the Baltic Day chrome powder. I just think that might show up well with the copper and the brown glitter. Now this is also, I want to say it's a semi-matte mold right up in the corner of his hands. Okay, cover that. Now, I took off a little bit too much there. And don't forget, like I always say, change your perspective. So I was looking at it from one direction. When I turn it in the other direction, I can see that I missed a spot. So perspective, you change your perspective, you might see something that you missed. And that is true of just about anything. Okay, I did make a boo-boo there and I took off a big bunch of silver. That's because I was trying to clear the green. Luckily, I had not cleaned off my brushes yet, so there's that. Now, the top side of that heart, find a clean spot on the baby wipe and just right over the top. Okay, now I have to very slowly. Okay, and I got some on his feet, so I'll wipe that out. All right, now this is what I'm going to do. I have some of the brown and some of the copper, so I'm going to mix them together. And maybe we'll get kind of a uniform look throughout. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but you know, oh well. I actually think this isn't going to be enough to fill up our cat, but that's okay because I'm going to be using a lot of these colors in the next few weeks here because of autumn, and I can fill them then. Or maybe I might do the rock trick. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's actually not a bad color at all. Okay, this gloop is getting hot, so I'm going to pour him right now. And I'm going to tilt him and try and pour him slowly down the front. He has ears, so first of all, I just made a mess down his front. But anyway, his ears, you gotta squeeze them. Gotta squeeze them. And I'm doing the whole rolling thing because this cat does have a lot of fur design, just like our squirrel. So hopefully this will mitigate any bubblage from happening. Let's get it poured. You know, he's not even halfway full, and I'm just dying to show you what my kitty looks like. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up the rest of it off camera, and then you can see him when we come back to demold Mr. Squirrel and his jackpot acorn. And you know what? It's an acorn jar, so you know what he can do? Store the rest of his nuts, because now's around the time they're storing their nuts for winter, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix up the rest of it, pour it, and we will get to see him as a bonus demolding when we come back. So I will see you real soon. And we're back and everything is cured. We're gonna start with the cat because she was an extra. Anything that doesn't come off with the tape can get scraped into my extras cup because then I can use that when I need to do something with my scraps. Oh, I hear my dog having a fit. Do you hear the dog having a fit, kid?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Okay. Kitty cat. Okay, so there's some cleanup on his feet. A little cleanup, but it's not bad. It's just like knockoff over it. You could literally just peel it off with your fingernails. See, but this is what, did you see me? Not you, the kid. I was cleaning my nail. Filing my nails because of exactly that. But you see what I did that with the mica powder before we poured in the, you see it, kid?
Yep. Good job.
That one the heart came out better on this one than it did on that. I think it's because of the contrasting colors. But yeah, it's permanent. It's in there. And if I want to make it shiny, which I could, but honestly, the whole rest of the mold is matte. So if I was going to do anything about making shiny, I would make the whole thing shiny, which is like super easy. All you'd have to do is take a finger cut with your resin, and you could do it with either UV or with epoxy, and just rub it on and let it dry. I've done it before. Like I did it on during Halloween with my skull and bird, and the kid will pop the picture up there. And I rubbed it on, and I just left it on some parchment paper. So anything that dripped off just dripped off onto the parchment paper, and it was knockoff overage, and it was perfect and shiny and beautiful.
Did you give me an in-universe editing tip?
I kind of did. Yeah, I did give you it.
Okay. Anyway.
Maybe that was a over in-universe editing tip. Anyway, kitty, I love it. It's this. I'm keeping this one. This one I keep. Are you laughing at me?
Dang it, you're not laughing, so I can't say I'm laughing with you.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, kid, what do you think? What comes first, squirrel or nut?
Squirrel, because the acorn is 2 parts, right?
Acorn is 2.
So.
He's so sad right now. Did you hear that? Mournful wail. Okay.
No, mournful dog.
Okay. So this is the first time we've done this squirrel. It's so cute. It actually is doing the I'm cute. If you can see his face, I'm so cute.
You made the ears gold.
I did make the ears gold because I thought it would contrast nicely with the purple, because purple squirrel. I don't know. I should have done the eyes too while I was at it. But yeah. So that's nice. Actually, what I would do then is go in, and I don't want to go too far over because you can see the eyelids on this. I'm going to give her a couple of eyelashes. So therefore, our squirrel is a girl. Not that boys don't have eyelashes, because they do. There, and there. Like that. I'm going to color in her nose, which actually has a little bit of micro bubbles. Okay, I messed that up royally. That's not bad. If I want to do that, I have to use the fine tip marker. This one is not doing it for me. So I'm going to take it all off and start over later. You know what's interesting?
That you just said after later?
Well, there's that. But check this out. There's white here and here. See that?
And you don't know how that happened?
Mm-mm.
Weird.
Okay. Bottom of the bowl first. Okay, I'm loosening the jar. Now, we made this mold ourselves, and it's mighty thick. So,
this is a struggle.
Hey, I'm squeezing. Can you pull? Ooh, I'm gonna have to be careful here because it's sharp. Or do you want to squeeze in it?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's warm.
Well, yeah.
You could have waited till it wasn't warm.
I could have, yes.
Oh. We'll be right back.
And this is why I keep the kid around. That's.
Wow.
I mean, it's not the only reason I keep the kid around.
It's good to know. I understand your motivation, because I never understood it before. So
I just said it's not the only reason I keep the kid around. And you take your deburring tool and you go around those, those sharp parts. I told her be careful because you don't want to get cut. Yeah, that. I really should have done it before, but the problem was it was halfway in the mold, and there we go. And I will probably grind that down to smooth it out better. Because it's on a curve, using a nail file wouldn't work, but the Dremel works. Okay, so that's the bottom. And this is the part that will get our little friend here really happy. Okay, so remember where I kept saying, I think that's a bubble? That's a bubble? Yeah, it was a bubble. So I'm going to have to fill that in, which is easy enough. Put a piece of tape here, probably like painter's tape. And then you just drop UV resin a drip at a time to fill it up. Actually, this is a pretty significantly large size hole, so I could just drop it in. But I have to put the tape down first, otherwise it will run down and ruin the top of the mold, which I realize we have not yet looked at, but I kind of want to see it with you at the same time. So clear off that sharp edge. And that's exactly what I was talking about. When you do, with hand cut molds, if you pour it too much, you have to do all this trimming, but it should still fit in over our cover, and bam, there it is. Now, you see that adoring look? You see it? The squirrel's like, oh, Look. Let me take you down to take a look at what the squirrel sees. Squirrel eye view. Squirrel's happy. Squirrel's happy. Like, I'm so happy. And just think, he can use it to store his nuts for winter. Yep, and that's what that's all about.
Okay.
Loving that. Loving it. Now, you see, I did put the little gem on the top, and that gem's a little bit too small for that stem.
I still think it worked though.
I think it's cute. I may do it again later after the fact and bling out the pattern of the cap of the acorn. That's what it is, it's a cap. Yep. So, yeah. Oh, look, the squirrel's going, you see, cat? See what I have? And the cat's going, yes, I love it.
Okay. So, wait. Hold on. It's a cap, right? It's a cap.
It is. No, not that kind of cap. No. Way too big for his head. Although, I think our squirrel would be happy with a
sombrero. I can't roll my R's.
No, you cannot. Anyway, that is our autumn make for today. Thank you so much for joining us here in the game room. I had fun and I got to do something new. So I hope you had fun too. Come along with us on our journey next week when we will be doing yet another autumn make as we lead up to our Thanksgiving celebration. We will see you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to play. Bye!